The United States has finally declared the Pakistan-based HuJI or the HuJI as a foreign terrorist organization and has slapped sanctions on its commander Mohammad Ilyas Kashmiri. The HuJI chief is believed to have been in close contact with Lashkar operative David Headley for their terrorist activities in India and Pakistan. HuJI and Kashmiri have been involved in a series of terror attacks in India, including the Mecca Mosque in Hyderabad in 2007 and the March 2007 Varanasi terrorist attacks. His name also cropped up in 2611 attacks case, and Kashmiri is believed to have been in close contact with David Headley, who has pleaded guilty to plotting the Mumbai attack. The UN also announced similar sanctions against HuJI and Kashmiri at its headquarters in New York. U.S. Under-Secretary for Terrorism and Financial Intelligence Stuart Levy, who announced the sanctions, said, and I quote him here, Mohammad Ilyas Kashmiri is at the core of HuJI's efforts to plan and carry out attacks against U.S. forces and our allies. He is responsible for creating a cadre of militants to act on behalf of HuJI and Al-Qaeda, unquote. South Bloc has also been putting diplomatic pressure on Washington to impose sanctions on HuJI and Kashmiri and has asked Pakistan to hand him over. Kashmiri has also threatened to attack the Commonwealth Games just a few months back. For a perspective on this story, we are joined by our foreign editor, Saurabh Shukla. Saurabh, why is this development important, particularly for India?
That is quite important because India has been pushing hard to get Kashmiri, on the sanctions list. It has asked the US and the UN, and obviously after sustained diplomatic efforts, this has come through. In the last dossiers that it had sent to Pakistan, India had also specifically given one dossier on Ilyas Kashmiri. Don't forget, besides the Mumbai 2611 attack case, India is, he's wanted in India for the kidnapping, a 1994 case of kidnapping of several foreign nationals in India, near Delhi. In fact, that is the case where Omar Saeed, who was later arrested for the killing of Daniel Pearl, was also involved. So besides this, he's also had global linkages with Al-Qaeda, and he's now believed to be in Waziristan in Pakistan.
All right. In the past, of course, Saurabh, the U.S. has spoken about how terrorism, which is breeding on Pakistani soil, must be countered. But finally, with sanctions like these, it seems that the U.S. is slowly but surely walking the talk.
Absolutely, Padmaja. I think, it's a long haul. It's not that tomorrow this will end and he will get arrested. But yes, this is a big step forward to ensure that the linkages that they have, this will ensure that their activities can be limited to an extent, their bank accounts will be frozen, their linkages with other groups or even some of the groups in the garb of charitable organization, they can be curbed. So from India's standpoint, that's a big step. Yes, we need to mount sustained efforts to ensure that somehow we are able to nab him and get people like Ilyas Kashmiri to trial.
And these sanctions will strengthen India's case for the arrest of Ilyas Kashmiri and his eventual deportation, because so far Pakistan has turned a deaf ear to all the evidence that India has handed, but the US cannot be ignored.
Absolutely. India's strategy is very clear. Even they know it quite clear that Pakistan will not either extradite, because we don't have an extradition treaty with Pakistan, or deport Kashmiri to India. But even if they do to the US, that also helps India's cause, because at the end of the day, they want people like him brought to justice. And there is already a case that has been filed by the US against Kashmiri for his involvement, not only in 2611 attacks, but also for attacks, in several installations in Denmark, which was revealed to the US authorities by David Headley. And I think it's a step forward.
All right, it is a step forward, and we are hoping that finally Pakistan will listen up and take action. For the time being, Saurabh Shukla, thank you very much for joining us with your perspective on that story.